The big news of the day is the Election Commission, who has come out and said that the announcement for the election dates for the 2024 Lok Sabha polls as well as the 5 assembly elections are going to be announced tomorrow. Now, this brings for us a discussion to be had on a larger scale with regards to what happened in the past in 2019 elections, and of course, the nationwide seat share, vote share for the political parties. We will also take a look at the number of voters that came out to vote in 2019. How is it going to be different for the 2024 election? What is the increase in the seat share and the vote share that is expected after the election is over? Let's quickly take a look at some numbers, and here you have it on the screen. The dates of the elections. In phase 1 in 2019, there were a total of 7 phases in which the elections were held. Phase 1 was 11th of April, then 18th of April, then 29th of April, 23rd of April, 29th of April, 6th of May, 12th of May, and finally 19th of May. Taking a look at another slide where we talk about the total vote share and the seat share. And here you have it, the voters. How many voters and the percentage of the voters that voted in the country? There were as many as 614,684,398 million voters. And here you have a look at the total vote percentage at 67.40%. That's the percentage of the people of our country that came out to vote. Here's also a look at the top 5 voting states. So the maximum number of people who decided to come out and vote were in Lakshadweep at 85.21%, Nagaland at 83%, Manipur at 82.69%. It was Arunachal Pradesh at 82.11% and West Bengal at 81.86%. Quickly also taking a look at the lowest voting states as well. So there you have it. Bihar had 57.33% of the voters who came out to vote. Delhi was 60.60%, Maharashtra at 61.02%, Telangana at 62.77%, and Uttarakhand at 61.88%. So having had a look at how the people of the country voted, we are also going to take a look at how the political parties fared in terms of the votes that they received, also in terms of the seats that they won. So here's a look at the seat share of the political parties. BJP at 303, Congress at 52, TMC at 22, and the DMK was at 24. If we also take a look at the vote share for all these political parties, it is also going to be reflective of how the voters have voted in the past. And here's a look at the seat share for the YSRCP at 22, Shiv Sena is 18, and BJD is 12, JDU at 16. So there you have it, the number, the seat share is what we have put out for you. We are going to also take a look at some other regional parties. This time around, this is in Uttar Pradesh, BSP got 10, Samajwadi Party at 5, BRS in Telangana got 9. There were other smaller political parties that ended up garnering seats, as many seats as 50 for the 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Let's also take a look. So we'll come back to the vote share, party-wise, state-wise as well. But getting in my panelists also into the discussion, now that we have a broader outlook of how the elections took place in 7 phases. Is that going to be repeated by the Election Commission? Are there changes in terms of the number of phases in which the elections are going to be held also be brought into force? Well, it remains to be seen. And why, if there are changes that are made by the Election Commission, what are the reasons, what are the parameters on the basis of which these changes are going to be made? So let's start our conversation. Joyita Basu on the telecast with me. Joyita, quickly a word from you with regards to now anticipation is rife. It has already been at least a week by which the Election Commission has delayed in announcing the dates. And of course, political parties at this point of time wrangling with each other, opposition targeting the Election Commission, the BJP particularly in allegedly influencing the Election Commission.
Well, actually, if you look at the last elections, if I remember correctly, 2019, the announcement was made sometime around March 10th, and the elections were exactly a month away, April 11th. So, if the elections are announced, say tomorrow, that is March 16th, I am expecting, I think the elections will start taking place around, say, April 17th onwards. Now, after that, if you are talking about the phases, when you are looking at the phases, I would not be surprised if they increase the number of phases by at least 1 to 2 more phases, because I think 2014 elections had 9 phases. So, I would not be surprised if this election goes up to even 9 phases, primarily because when you are looking at a state like West Bengal, you have to, that's got a huge number of seats, and it is 42. It's a very violence prone and a rigging prone state. So, as a result of which the central forces have to be on the ground in a very big way. So, it is primarily for West Bengal that they will have to spread the elections across, at minimum 7 is minimum, I would say.
It's interesting because Mamata Banerjee has today made a statement asking the election commission that in West Bengal there be a single phase election.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen, and I hope it doesn't happen, because we have all seen what has been happening in West Bengal over the past decades. In fact, I mean, it is the most violence prone state. I mean, it is no longer UP which has a problematic election, it is no longer Bihar, it is primarily West Bengal. UP, they may spread it out over the next few phases. That is because the number of seats is absolutely largest, it is 80 seats. So, they will have to spread it out, but at the same time, when it comes to West Bengal, I mean, you need as many phases as possible. If you can man almost at least 80% of the booths can be manned by central forces, only then I guess you can have some sort of a semblance of a fair election in that state.
Okay. Okay, all right. I'm going to quickly also get in Vinita Ariharan, BJP spokesperson. Vinita, of course, it is going to be a neck and neck fight amongst various political parties. It is going to be the BJP, the TMC, there is going to be Aam Aadmi Party, the Congress, the DMK, they are all part of the India bloc. In a situation such as this, the Election Commission finally coming out with the dates tomorrow. Why are there questions being raised within the BJP as well as to what is the reason that the Election Commission could not announce the dates a week before like it had last election?
No, I think it was just the the internal organizational frameworks and also planning out these elections, because also regarding the One Nation One Election report that was just submitted. So taking into view all of that, that's a little more complicated this time, and that's why the delay in announcing the elections. We're all waiting with a lot of anticipation and a lot of eagerness, looking forward to getting into the campaign run. But otherwise, campaign has already started in many of the constituencies where the candidates have been declared already. Especially in states like Kerala, etc. Also, where it's very challenging, but still there's a lot of hard work that's already begun on the ground in most of these places. So, except for the others where the candidates are yet to be announced, because we're waiting for the election dates and waiting for the announcements to happen. So, this is part of the entire evolution of the electoral machinery, we would say. So,
okay.
But otherwise, looking confident for NDA, as polls have also supported our predictions across the country. 400 par is what is our aim, and definitely we're going to be getting there, as we know, because not only in the Hindi heartland, but also in many of the other states like East and in the South, we're going to make our mark, especially in Odisha and in South in Telangana and in Tamil Nadu, and definitely Maharashtra also in the West. There is going to be definitely a great NDA wave that's going to happen now.
Okay, all right. So, Vinita, we've seen Prime Minister Narendra Modi campaigning, launching a number of projects. Even in the last leg, before the election results are announced, he's right now doing the South run. There is Tamil Nadu, Kerala, Andhra Pradesh, Telangana. He is going to be in all these states. He's already visited Tamil Nadu and Kerala. He was on his way to Telangana now. Now, South of India has been an Achilles heel for the BJP. What is it that seems to have changed for the BJP that voters are going to come out and vote for you?
See, it's going to be definitely the Vikas agenda and the strength of all the developmental initiative that has been taken under the leadership of Narendra Modi ji, that has actually penetrated deeply and widely across the country, not only in North India but also South India. People have begun to feel the effectiveness of these programs. Time and again, we repeat that because that is what is going to be the strength of our win this time around, even in the south of India. And, the outreach has been beyond what is actually projected or what is predicted or what is actually narrated by the opposition, a false narrative of the opposition that nothing is going down to the people. But that's not the case, because a lot of beneficiaries of Modi programs, and especially women, I think women voters and the youth are going to be voting a lot in a greater proportion for the Modi government and for Modi government to come back to power. Yeah.
Okay, I have with me Suleiman Mohammed Khan, the Congress spokesperson. Suleiman, what do you think is going to work in favor of Congress and the India bloc, keeping in mind that BJP has been able to gain an absolute majority in 2019, 2024 they have aimed for a target of 370, and in complete compilation of NDA, it's 400 mark.
Let them dream for whatever nobody can stop them, to dream something. But my understanding is that what they have done in 10 years, they have to reply for that. They have promised a lot. They have, in 2014, given a manifesto. In 2019 as well, when the Lok Sabha elections happened, they have promised a lot. They have been, completely failed to fulfill their promises. The youth is waiting for the jobs. They have promised 2 crore jobs every year. Will they answer that in 10 years, have they created 20 crore jobs? What is the situation of the farmers? This is an anti-farmer government. This is an anti-youth government. 30 lakh jobs, government jobs are, still vacant, which they are not fulfilling. Youths are waiting. Papers, competitive examination papers are getting leaked. It's a complete misgovernance. Election Commission is compromised. Electoral bond scam is the single scam in the history of the country, where the Prime Minister and the Home Minister or Finance Minister are directly involved. Corporate houses are being raided. They are being taken. When they give an electoral bond, the investigation stops.
So are you saying, when you say the Election Commission of India is compromised, so is this a foregone conclusion that if NDA ends up winning the election, the Indie Alliance is going to target the Election Commission, calling it a fraud, calling it an election which is non-transparent and biased?
Madam, first of all, I'm not able to see who you are. Second, if you are calling me an Indie Alliance, then call ND Alliance. NDA, don't call Indie Alliance.
I guess a lot of Congress leaders have that objection. I'm going to let's clear the air over there and let's make a clarification. Let me call you India Bloc. I hope India Bloc works.
You should not.
It's a very small matter.
Should be neutral.
It's a very small matter. I already have taken into account your objection, and I'm saying I'm again reiterating, and I'm calling you as India Bloc. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
So. No, Election Commission, there is a 2015 Law Commission report which says that this Election Commission should be chosen by a committee of Prime Minister, Leader of Opposition and the Chief Justice of India. Then there is a February 2023 judgment of the Constitutional Bench of Supreme Court, Anup Baranwal's case, in which Supreme Court has suggested the same committee. Now what you have done? Prime Minister, a minister in Prime Minister's cabinet and a leader of opposition. You are in majority. You have chosen your own people. Why the Prime Minister is scared of neutral things? What is the problem? First, the Prime Minister, was so shaken and fearful that the electoral bonds should not be released. They tried tooth and nail. Finally, Supreme Court said, just reveal everything. And this is a way to do quid pro quo.
Okay. Okay, fair enough. Fair enough. In the second round of discussion, I'm also going to come about how are political parties tagged in terms of doing their campaigns, because now it is going to be a flurry of campaigns from regional leaders to the party high command who are going to be traveling across all constituencies, across the country, in all the states. And it is truly going to be the dance of democracy that the country is going to witness. I also have with me right now Himanshu. But Himanshu, your analysis with regards to the election dates tomorrow that are going to be released, model code of conduct that is then subsequently going to be enforced, and how is the public looking at voting for their favorite candidate and their favorite political party?
Yeah. See, it's going to be an interesting and historical elections, I'm going to say. Because this is for the first time after 47 that, we are going to have an election which is fiercely fought by two lines of thinking. But there seems to be, on the ground, polarized on a side. Why, what's happening here is, there is a line of thinking which talks of future. And there is another line of thinking which talks of the past glories. Now, here, very cleverly, the Prime Minister has very clearly said he has only 4 jatis: youth, women, farmer, and poor. Now, first two, women and youth, I'm very much interested, and that's where I want to see. Megha, if you remember, you had done a program after the results of Gujarat elections, probably, about counting the number of votes that Narendra Modi polled since he came into electoral fray.
Yes.
Some 780 million or something. Me and Rushabh were there. And now, it'll be interesting to know that, what is the total number of women voters out of this 96 crores that we have at 2024, and how many women voters are voting for Narendra Modi? Means BJP as such. And similarly, the reason for that I'm asking is, that will give you a basic analysis what the people of the country think. Because Modi has said that I have given women the pride. I have given them the toilets. I have given them 33% reservation, what they asked for. And so many other things, houses and this and that and all. These are his schemes.
Okay.
For the youth,
this is also,
youth is
also
aspirational.
interesting, Himanshu, is because in the last 48 hours, the Congress has also come out with its list of guarantees. So there are 5 guarantees. It's called the Nari Nyay, 5 guarantees, and it's called the Yuva Nyay. And
Yes.
there are funds to the tune of lakhs of rupees that have been allocated to be put into the accounts of the women in our country, of the youth in our country, providing them jobs. So here you see that there is a neck and neck fight for the Congress and for the BJP to woo the women voters and woo the youth. Mind you, the 4 pillars that BJP has counted is the youth, the women, the kisan, and the poor.
So basically what is happening is, on one side you have someone who has provided you certain things and telling you, this is what I have given. And Nari Shakti needs to support me. And if you see the election results of the past, I'm talking about the history, last 10 years, you will see number of women voters more than the number of male voters as far as BJP is concerned. Now that's a fact of life. Similarly, when we talk of youth of the day is aspirational. He doesn't want to throw stones like in Kashmir. He wants to earn his bread properly. And for that, he wants the advancements in technology, advancements of Bharat. He wants to live. He wants an education which is competitive enough with the world-class students. That aspirational India, the transformation of India is what youth is looking for. And so you have to check that, how many first-time voters and the voters below 35 who opt for a particular combination.
Right, absolutely, you're right. I'm going to take a quick short break, come right back, because we are going to now decipher how the first-time voters are going to vote. What is the estimate of them for 2024? How many first-time voters have increased since 2019? It's been 5 years. And then go about understanding and analyzing in deeper detail.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.